Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we are doing another video that I did last year that I wanted to bring back for a second year running, and that is the ultimate list of shows I want to see in 2025. So if you want to know all about this list, stick around, we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So like I said, I made this video last year and I have my list from 2024 right here. My handwriting in this book is terrible and the amount of shows that I ticked off wasn't my finest hour. I mean, if you saw one of my recent videos, which was my entire look through all the programs that I've collected throughout this year, you'll know that I didn't just do a few shows. I did manage to get 43 shows in 2024, but when you look against my list, and I've just seen another one I could tick off in the tools. I don't know why I'm doing it now, but I'm still doing it. Yeah, it could have gone worse, it could have gone better. So this year, with slightly better handwriting and in a different book, we have our new list. So today I thought I'd go through it with you all as a nice relaxing way into the year of videos on this channel. So I hope you don't mind. We've also got quite comfy. I'm in my full like blanket scarf because it's cold in this house. So as with previously, we've got West End and London on this side, and then regional and tours on the other. So let's just start with the West End London side. So my first on that list is The Producers. I am dying to see this show. I have been a fan of the film in years, like 4 years should I say, and I never got the chance to see the actual show in the flesh. It's definitely on my list to see. The cast involved is insane. I don't have a clue where the theatre is, so that'll be an experience for 2025. For reference, I'm still in 2024 when I film this. It'll go up in 2025, so my brain is not working well. So if there's any little hiccups, that's why. But yes, going back to The Producers, would love to see it. Also, I wanted to put on this list the production of Natasha, Pierre and the Great Comet, which is currently on at the Don Mar. There is no seats available at all, so I decided just to not put it on the list. But The Producers, as far as I know, there is still tickets available. It is running until March. I will be getting there. The next few on my list, 2 I think, come from me watching the Royal Variety Performance recently, and that is Starlight Express, which I believe was on 2024's list and I never got a chance to see it, and also Oliver, which I was very much on the fence with, because everyone enjoys Oliver. It's one of those musicals that you kind of have to have some enjoyment in to enjoy musical theatre. If you watched Why Am I So Single, it's kind of at the root of most of the puns and jokes. But I was just like, I don't know if I need to see this production. I've seen productions in the past, and then they did the Royal Variety Performance and I was like, okay, I'll take the bite, I will go and watch this show. So why not stick it on the list? We also have Mrs. Doubtfire, which I need to see before it closes in March, April, May, one of those 3. Unfortunately, however, upon looking recently for a completely different reason, I discovered that their Sunday matinee will be no more after the beginning of January. They're moving their last show of the week, if you will, to be their first show of the week, and they are moving a Sunday matinee to the Monday evening. Gutted, because I wanted to see it as a matinee at some point, but it'll have to be a Saturday matinee. But I still need to see it before it closes. I've heard great things, so we'll see. Next on the list is Titanic. I mean, if we're talking about excellent casts, that is one I need to see. I love the Criterion as well, and I just feel like it would be a hoot, so I put it on my list. Also there is Hadestown, because I have still not seen it. I actually have, I'm not going to say this out loud, let's do it. I had no massive interest in seeing the original Broadway cast slash mostly original national cast, national theatre cast that being. I am more interested in seeing Melanie LaBarrie, so I can see it up until a certain point that she leaves, but I feel like I'm in the minority on not seeing it, and I feel like it has to be seen at some point. Also on the London list we have got two Mischief shows. One I've seen previously, which is Play That Goes Wrong. I haven't seen that in years, and so I feel like I should go back. And then secondly, we have the new one that's coming in April, which is a comedy about spies. I'm not gonna lie, I have been rinsing the 5-minute clip that they did on the Royal Variety Performance ever since they performed there. I am quite the Mischief fan. I enjoy seeing their stuff, and very excited about comedy about spies, because it kind of feels like it's got the same kind of feel and vibe to it as Comedy About a Bank Robbery, which was on a few years back, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, so we shall see. Also on the list of shows I probably should have seen previously and haven't, we have Cabaret. Marisha Wallace is going into it, so it's a given. Also on the list, Hercules. I love a bit of Disney, I love a bit of Theatre Royal Drury Lane, I quite enjoy a bit of Luke Brady, so that works masterfully together. We have got Clueless. I am quite the fan of the film and hope that it is done well. The music is done by Katie Tunstall, I want to say. Let's fact check whilst we're here. That's right. Music by Katie Tunstall and lyrics by Glenn Slater. Glenn Slater of Sister Act and Tangled fame. There you go. It's at the Trafalgar Theatre, and like I said, massive fan of Clueless, and also, as I've previously mentioned on this channel, quite the fan of Jane Austen, and if you don't know, Clueless comes from Jane Austen in a roundabout way. So yeah, that is on the list. Also there is 2 Agatha Christie shows. We have The Mousetrap / the original and also Witness of the Prosecution, which was on my list last year and I never got round to it, and somebody recently said that I should probably go and check out The Mousetrap, so I thought I could possibly do like a 2 Agatha Christie show day. That could work. So I put them both on the list. We also have the play The Last Laugh. 1, because I've been told it is excellent. 2, because I want to get into more plays this year. I saw 1 last year, which is better than 0, but it's not good. I am very much a musicals person and I need to get myself out there and watch a few more plays. We have Just for One Day, which is returning to London after it was at the Old Vic last year. It's coming back into the centre of London to the Shaftesbury after Mrs Doubtfire closes. I'd quite like to see that show again. We've got Here We Are, which was the last Sondheim. I have no idea what I'm going to get into if I get a chance to see it. I've seen about the cast. I'm the worst person to create this list because I don't know what I am like going into. I just been like, oh, that sounds good, or I've heard good things, let's stick it on the list. That is usually how I see theatre. Next up on there, I don't know a lot, but I want to have it on my list. We've got Shucked. I know nothing, but I know it. I've heard things, so it's made the list. The Devil Wears Prada, also on the list. There's so many like film-based musicals around, on both sides, to be fair, because there's a couple more when we get into the tour / regional side. Are we just going through a moment? Devil Wears Prada is interesting to me because I've heard good things, and then I've heard some, you know, things. So that's on the list. Six for a second year is on the list because I didn't see it last year. Got very close. Me and my friend were trying to get it for Rush in December. We lost out. We lost out hard. We also tried to get tickets for Mean Girls again. Rush is so brutal. It's so hard, especially if you're trying to go with like more than one person. Sometimes you get lucky if you're on your own. But lo and behold, 6 still on the list. The Great Gatsby is on the list because, like everyone else, I came up quite obsessed with that one song, which name I don't know right now. You know, should probably look it up, shouldn't I? New Money, of course it is. We all know how I feel about a brass section in a band, in a musical. The final one that I've got for the West End / London side is Cry Baby, which is at a theatre called, and I'm probably going to pronounce this, but I'm going to do it phonetically, the Arcola. I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to see this show. It's another theatre, I have no idea where it is. Will need to do my research. But Cry Baby, more specifically the song Screw Loose from Cry Baby, has been scratching a certain itch for quite a long time in my head since I learned about it. And I need to see someone sing it in real life. So that is on the list. I also just got my pen because on the bottom of this list I need to write The Mad Ones. Why I forgot that I need to put that on my list, I do not know. It was a highlight of 2024 and I am desperate to see it again. It is going into the other palace in the studio space early to mid into the year. I need to go and watch it again. There we go. That is the West End London side. Now more out and about in the sticks, not in London side, otherwise known as tour / regional. We've got Little Shop of Horrors, which is currently on the Crucible in Sheffield. Don't know how much time it's got left, and I don't know if my schedule and their schedule is gonna work. I might just have to accept that I'm not watching that, but I do love Little Shop of Horrors. I've only seen it once in my life in the flesh. I watched it at the Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. That was insane. I'd love to see it again. We'll have to see. Next up we've got Kinky Boots, which is doing a tour. It's starting in Leicester, completely sold out in Leicester. I looked it up yesterday because I was in Leicester to watch My Fair Lady and I did not realise it was fully sold out, so well done to the people of Leicester for having good taste in theatre. But after that it is going to tour. The closest coming to me is Alex, but if you know me, I love Kinky Boots. It's one of my favourite musicals of all time. I love the message behind it and I will be going to see it. Don't you worry. Also on the list for tour and regional is Mary Poppins. I completely forgot that it is currently on tour, which shame on me because I have been put in front of the film Mary Poppins for years, like literally since I was a babe. It was definitely the film that they used to put on for me when I was grouchy as a child, and I have a soft spot for it. And so additional music that has been added on top of all of the classics like Feed the Birds, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, etc. I am so excited to listen to songs like Anything Can Happen and Play the Game. Best song in the world. So that is on the list. Harking back to shows I probably should have seen by now and haven't, because Mousetrap was one. The other one is on the tour side, and that is Blood Brothers. I have never seen Blood Brothers in my life. I recently outed myself to a friend. We were discussing the shows that probably we should have seen previously and haven't. Blood Brothers is one of mine. I don't know why I've not ever seen it, but I feel like I should, and it is currently touring, so why not give it a shot this year. Also on the list for tour is Dear Evan Hansen, another show I've never seen. I kept meaning to in it, or during its West End run, and for various reasons didn't go. I am aware it's quite hard hitting and emotional, and I am a sucker for that kind of musical. So yeah, we're gonna have to probably look that up at some point. Also on the list, Chicago. Another one I should have probably seen by now. Have never seen it, have seen the film, never seen the stage production. I should also say that when I was creating my tour slash regional side, and my tour slash regional list, should I say, I looked at all my local ones, so that is the Wolves Grand, the Birmingham Alex, the Birmingham Hippodrome, the Rep, although I wasn't very good at the Rep and have recently seen those things I want to see that are not on this list. I also looked a little bit at the Curve, so that is basically where these tour things are on the list from. So after Chicago we've got Bat Out of Hell, again a musical I've never seen. I didn't really have much interest seeing it when it was in London. I again have heard good things but also not so good things about the show, and that is the kind of musical I like to go and watch, because you just don't know what you're going to get yourself in for, and that's sometimes the funniest thing in the world. Another classic, if you will, is Calamity Jane. I have never seen it, not even seen the film. I am aware of some of the cast who are in it. I am also aware that they have gone the actor-musician route. We all know how I feel about that, so that is exciting. Speaking of actor-musicians, we have The Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, which is currently touring. I didn't see it in Leeds, was going to, but my schedule in December is nuts and I just missed the opportunity to. It is touring for a while and I'm no doubt going to see it a few times if I can. Also on the list, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I sat and watched the film over this Christmas break and I forgot how many like tunes are in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The Karaticus has just changed. It was Adam, insert name here, the guy who was in Coyote Ugly. You're probably all screaming it at me. Garcia. I didn't need to look it up, I got there all on my own. It was Adam Garcia. It's now going to be Ore Adubi. Ore, you know him, who I last saw in the Pretty Woman tour, so that is exciting. Next on the list is one that I've bashed this show for multiple years since its existence, and I have finally decided in my experienced age that I should probably not bash a show before I've seen it, and so it is on my list for tours to see because it's still touring. That show is Only Fools and Horses, the musical. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's on the list, okay? Will I see it? Who knows? Also on the tour list we've got Moulin Rouge. I'm excited to see how that will do on tour as opposed to being in London. I've seen it in London once. I saw it 2 years ago on a January day. I was blown away the moment you step into the theatre, because literally the theatre is decked out. It's very all in your face kind of musical. I was under the weather at the time and that was quite an affront, but I'm interested to see how it's going to work on tour when it's not as static. We shall see. We also have The Bodyguard. I've never seen the film, I've never seen the musical. I have heard many a tale about how audiences, not even the show, but I've heard how audiences are with that musical, which I think is the thing that's put me off. But at the same time, it's one of those, I need to see it to see what it's like. I need to experience it for myself kind of shows. So it's on my list. We also have Miss Saigon. I've never seen it live. I watched, and I think I own, I'm looking over at DVDs I have, the 2015, the anniversary production that they put on, which had John Briones as the engineer, and then they brought out the original engineer at the end. But I've never seen it myself and I feel like I need to. And then the last 4 on my tour regional side are all ones that are regional as opposed to tour. So we have, starting at the Barn Theatre but then progressing onto a tour, Friends the Musical Parody. I feel like there's been a previous iteration of a Friends musical or a Friends parody play, but there is a new one. It's starting at the Barn in Cirencester, which I have visited twice? Once? I saw once there. Have I been since? I feel like I have, but I can't think for what. But I really enjoy the Barn. It's a lovely little theatre in the Cotswolds. So hopefully I will watch it at the Barn, but if not, it is also touring, so I've put that on my list. At the Manchester Opera House we've got 13 going on 30, another like 90s, early 2000s film that they've turned into a musical. We've got Devil Wears Prada, we've got Clueless, we have 13 going on 30. But will that stop me? Probably not. Speaking of films, we also got Freaky Friday, which is going to be playing at the Home Theatre in Manchester. And it's another film I quite enjoy. Interested to see how it is portrayed on a stage with songs, but we have to find that out together. And then finally, one that came onto my list yesterday after I visited the Curve, there is Muriel's Wedding, which is going to be at the Curve next year. I know nothing about it, but the poster looked cool. And sometimes that's all it takes to be sucked in by a bit of marketing. But there we go. I have a feeling that this has been another long video. My battery cut out halfway through, so I don't know how long it truly is, but it's a good ultimate list to sink my teeth into. It may not be a successful list, but at least we have some things to put into a plan, and that's all we can hope for. That is one of my things in 2025. I am going to be better with my life and my scheduling and know what I'm doing with a bit of time, instead of what I've done recently and for the last year, which is suddenly decide on the week of the show that I want to go and see it. Why do I do this to myself? So that is me. I'm going to be better at time management. There we go. Will it work? Who knows. But I'm going to leave this video here and say thank you very much for watching. I hope you had a glorious New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, the changing of the year. It hasn't happened as I filmed this video. I'm still in 2024. But yeah, I'm going to silence myself here, so thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go and warm myself up, and I will see you in my next video. And all that's left to say, all she nearly forgot, is the usual, which is so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I forgot. See you next time.